and locked in. So luckily they did save up the Emma Frost. So Emma Frost making her way here. So Adeline not necessarily going with the Venom for now, but when push comes to shove, that could happen. And Beans kind of maybe going for the Spider-Man, maybe going for the Black Panther. We're still not sure. However, the question is, and we talked about this once we started analyzing this team, will Chew Tiger actually go DP? Will he go duelist, or will he actually be a fellow Vanguard with Skinny?
Yeah, we will find that answer soon enough as we do enter the lair of Hydra for this first match of the first map of the first series between XBE and Marvel Vietnam. Both these teams, one thing worth to mention, they still need a win under their belt. This is their chance. This is their momentum shift. We'll see who will come out on top in this best of 3.
Yeah. And shoutouts to Dandy. I see not banning Hella with Storm is crazy. I guess it's more of a preference. Shoutouts once again to It's Shadow Knight, giving us the lowdown with the picks and bans. And shoutouts also to Moonset Sunrise. Let's go, guys. Let me hear your voices in the chat. Who are you guys for? Is it MVNE? Is it XBE? Find out as we see a potential dive from Beans. But Tien's also has the same idea, so will we see that same rotation? It seems like XBE is going to try to aim for that high ground area, while they will have possibly the same type of rotation. They do see that they got the high ground here, but Beans from behind here will try and flank, but no, able to actually catch him on. So it seems like they do have the high ground. However, it is MVNE that unlocks the checkpoint.
Yeah, Chew Tiger, like we said, is going for the duelist off the rip, but it looks like Hale is able to draw first blood in this fight as Light is able to get revived through the BRB. Tienz is in the thick of it, able to get a Feral Leap onto Slux. A big kill coming in, is able to shred one of the Vanguards. Might go after the second. The Emma Frost in so much danger right now, but MVNEsport, despite getting that high ground, looks like they're able to secure the point early.
Good trade-off from both the Vanguard and 2 Vanguards on both teams, but it is XBE to kind of control, try to win this team fight, but it seems like NVE the one that pushed them away from points. So now they kind of have to regroup. They kind of staggered a little bit. Hale trying to pump the damage here with the Punisher, while the Magneto Slux was eliminated at the start. So let's see how they're going to try to make this push happen. It seems like Chew Tiger on this Storm already has the Omega Hurricane ready for this next team clash.
Yeah, and he's going to pop it immediately. Will the timing be perfect here? Look at the ultimate states on XBE. They're not quite getting to their ultimate just yet, but Chew Tiger wasn't able to get any value out of that ultimate. So now it does seem like XBE on paper are at a slight disadvantage as their ultimates are starting to pile up.
Yeah, and now we have the final judgment on Kale and Fish as well with the Eternal Bond. We do see Beans and Kale take out one, but the BRB brings back Ultron to the fight here. We do see the double KO onto Kale, eliminating Ultron. So now the teams are falling left, the team members are falling left and right for XBE to take control of the point here.
Yep, just like that. I feel like I just nailed it perfectly. XBE were able to dodge away Chew Tiger's Omega Hurricane, and that just allows XBE to just invest a lot of their ultimates to try to take control of this site, and they will do so while leaving Demise and Beans' ultimate still at the ready. But MVNEsport, they're making an adjustment right now.
Yeah, Groot coming in now. So the Omega Hurricane was spent, the money in the bank was spent, so now they're going to go for a double Vanguard here. We do see Kale with the turret try to give a little more damage, forcing off the support ult by Hale, but we do see the invisible boundary to counter. Eye of Agamotto is going to get popped. Let's see if we're going to get value out of this. Able to take out Demise, so that's 2. We're going to take 2 people out of XBE, so MVNEsport able to control the point or try to push them away, and that is a team wipe, Dan.
And the adjustment reigns supreme. Chew Tiger realizing that they needed more frontline. They needed a little more of a beefier Vanguard to assist them on this push, and they were able to get the point back for themselves. We do see Beans shuffling around a bit of dive champions, but will opt to go for the Iron Fist as Chew Tiger is able to find a pick onto Kale as the Rage of Ultron going to be available for Marvel Vietnam. They want to zone away XBE. They want to do a full court press, per se, as they are doing it as there is not much time left. 15 seconds left for XBE to try to secure this point. Tien's being in a perfect situation to go for the last stand, able to do so much damage. Tien's slashing, slicing, dicing his way to a victory, but XBE, they were able to tap the point for a little bit, but it all seems not, as the rest of MVNE should be on a golden path to secure the first round.
I think you pointed it best. When the Omega Hurricane didn't work, Shoot Tiger immediately noticed, all right, we need to get more frontline support. We need to be able to get more vanguards on the point. And you notice a lot of the team clashes there did get a lot from Groot's walls. The Groot's walls were able to kind of cut people off, able to cut off the strategists from healing up. So they need, XBE kind of need to make some adjustments here. Their dive comp didn't technically work. So, and even though they won that second team fight, that was really good. However, they weren't able to retake the point. So, coming into this next one, let's see what the adjustments are going to be made on the team lineup. It seems like Beans was kind of going back and forth with the Iron Fist, and he might be sticking to the Spider-Man.
Yeah, if this is the correct one that I'm thinking of, Spider-Man is pretty good on this area of Hell's Haven. So we'll see if Beans is able to capitalize. We have seen another Spider-Man pop off on here, that being Sungjok Woo on XOXO1. We'll see if Beans is able to do the same.
Yeah. However, we do see a portal onto the high grounds on MVNE's side. Slux is still getting into position here. They're just waiting, but he kind of knows they're going to set up a crosshair. We do see that XBE has already set up the Spider-Man here. He's going to try to get a kidnap onto Ultron. Can't one-shot him, but he's able to actually get a little bit of his attention. So let's see if Beans can continue on here as the team fight continues on while MVNE has the high ground. Really good position as they try to push them towards this wall area. Invisible boundary spent, and we do see that the final judgment is already popped. Very expensive. That ultimate's being used by XBE as they fall one by one, Dan.
No, we weren't able to see it because of the invisible domain, but Shoot Tiger got so many players of XBE with that strangling prison, and that just proved to be so valuable for MVNEsport, and they're going to be able to secure a point just like that.
Yeah, Shoot Tiger, I would say his Storm was amazing. It was able to help them in the first team clash, but the Groot is really putting in so much work. Spider-Man trying to 1v1 here, has spectacular spin. Can he spend it wisely, though? He's waiting for the opportune time.
They don't know. They don't know.
Trying to pull him, unable to get it.
Oh, he's in a weird spot right now. He had a golden opportunity to go for the spectacular spin, especially since MVNEsport, they don't have any strategist ultimates right now. So right now, for XBE, they're at a great advantage right now as the Rage of Ultron still down. Hiel close to the fate of both worlds, but doesn't quite have it just yet. So right now, MVNEsport, they need to keep them at bay as these walls are causing so much chaos right now. And it's going to force XBE to reposition.
At the 50% mark, we do see the shift onto the stage. This does buy a lot more time for MVNE to re-rotate and still capture a lot of the percentage
this
here.
Is good.
Like you pointed out, XBE has so much ultimates ready. However, MVNE is coming back here, getting more ultimates as well, but now they pop both fates of both worlds. Fish also has Eternal Bond. We do see the Eye of Agamotto combined with the Kraken Impact. Can he take anyone out? It seems like the support.
Oh my god, the Groot ulti!
Alive.
The Groot ult is so good, but the Psionic Seduction also going to be used to try to buy a little bit of time. But MVNEsport, they might have been able to stall long enough. They were able to hold. They needed their ultimates to come back, and they come back right here, right now, and it is absolutely perfect. And that might be game one going to Marvel Vietnam.
Checkmate, but hey, we got the Spider-Man just to force the OT. Fish needs to teleport on point. Overtime is happening. They tried to teleport on point.
Oh, it's a Desperation TP,
no
yeah.
Checkmate just yet.
Desperation TP coming in. MVNEsport needs to go over this final hurdle, this final obstacle in their way. Are they doing it? It looks like they are. 2 kills, 2 eliminations light up in favor of Marvel Vietnam, and it looks like they're just going to clean house. This is customary for them as the final members fall. Game 1, it was a little bit labored with the strange teleport, but in the end, Marvel Vietnam secured that game number 1.
Incredible adjustments that they made, and I think you pointed it out when it came to the ultimates. XBE was holding on to their ultimates. I think there were 4 up against 2, and it was MVE that didn't necessarily have any defense ultimates on the table. But here we have it. Chu Tiger, not on the Storm, but MVP on the Groot, which I would have to say was an excellent pickup, an excellent adjustment that they made. And hopefully come game number 2, XBE realizes, okay, Chu Tiger is a problem on this Groot. We got to ban this Groot.
Oh, we'll see if that is the adjustment, because despite that, the Storm, I just love the adjustment coming out of MVNE, right? That was a very early realization. Some teams, they do take a minute. Some players in the general player base, they take a while. They are a bit stubborn in some of those ranked games, right? You see one hero not popping off as hard as you think, and then they just refuse to switch. But right here, MVNE, they make the quick adjustment. They don't question themselves. Should they go for this adjustment? They went for it immediately, and it paid dividends. And there is a world where Chu Tiger decides to opt for something else. But right now, what character does he opt for with the Magneto, with the Groot being off that table, as we do soon enough move into, like we said, the newest map of the game, Araco. I'm excited. I'm super excited. I'm so excited right now.
Chat, shout outs to you guys for joining us here. Shout outs to Nidge Tech that says if he only plays Strange and Groot, maybe a Mag as well. Mag was taken off the table. And, you know, I'm not going to lie. I think you are right. I think he mains duelists because he is going for that Storm. But when Groot is off the table, he goes for that. I'm just very concerned that they only have one Vanguard on the table. Will that pay off? Because they are the ones defending. And attacking side has some choke points to work with, but let's see how XB is going to try to rally back into Squirrel Girl to start. They do this at the start, just for Squirrel Girl.
Yeah, that is a surprising start, but they are going to use the Squirrel Girl, like you said, to just pepper down MVNEsport as Beans wants to use that distraction to their favor. There is a teleport down at the bottom of the map. You can use that to get a momentary high ground control, but we'll see what the play is here as Hiel going to be the one drawing first blood. XBE's push going to be stunted for a little bit as the domino is going to fall, as Fish will fall as well.
The good thing here is that they're close to spawn, so it's all right. MVNE, really good start, able to stagger them in some way and also gain a little bit of that ultimate coming into this next team fight. However, it is not over yet. There's so much time left on that clock. Slux being the main Vanguard trying to push, while Beans not going for any flanks, but actually peppering some damage from the back line. So Beans doing a great job. This is what we talked about, where it's kind of like Central Park, where there are some high grounds to work with. So you got to be very careful if you're pushing the objective at the bottom here. Yeah,
that's a double kill coming in, a double elim coming in for Beans. This is what you want to see right now. This is the dive composition shining at its full potential. And like we said, this is XBE's map pick, and they really like this map, especially since you have so many different avenues of entry, so many avenues of backline access. And we are seeing that as the Rage of Ultron going to be popped in, and it's going to allow Kale to go absolutely ham, as Liked will respond with his own Rage of Ultron, as these ultimates are starting to pop in. The Soul Resurgence from Fish going to keep XBE alive, and it might be enough. We'll see as Hiel, now it's his turn to pop that Mantis ultimate, as Hiel trying to find that kill onto Kale. He will find it as Chu Tiger follows up onto Fish, and the strategist of Hiel and the DPS, the duelist of Chu Tiger, will be able to clean up house.
Yeah, the way that they were able to clean up shop there after the 2 Rage of Ultrons came out. I mean, XBE still focusing on that dive, but at least they have a Psylocke and a Cap, which is definitely working. I know chat really wanted to see some Cap action today. Hopefully, this next team fight can push it past the first checkpoint, because yesterday it only remained on this area. Chu Tiger, though, definitely able to eliminate Beans. And now we continue on here with the onslaught of defense coming from MVNEsport.
Yeah, lots of ultimates being charged up on MVNEsport right now. XBE do have a lot on their own end, so we may see that domino effect of ultimates just piling in, and that's going to be the first to fall, as Slux will use the Silent Seduction. Great timing on TN's final judgment to nullify that crowd control coming in from the Luna ultimate. Or not the Luna ultimate, I'm sorry, Emma.
Yeah, what a response, right? The way he used that last judgment to actually protect. But now they actually move back a little bit for them to retake the objective. However, they're taking the team fight a little bit further, forcing the invisible boundary. Chu Tiger with the Omega Hurricane inbound. Let's see if some disbursement. They weren't able to get much. Slux taking out Skinny. We do have also Kale with the Rage of Ultron and Lich as well, keeping everyone alive. But it seems like MVNEsport have 2 taken out of the table, and XBE also have 1. So it's a trade-off for 2 to 3, but it seems like XBE is going to take this objective with Skinny, the last one that did stagger. And now we continue on here, Dan, in Araco.
Yeah, we're actually moving on past the first point. As far as I remember, the last time we were on Araco, we couldn't get past the first point, but now we are going deeper into the map as MVNEsport need to reset, need to regroup, maybe go for an adjustment, but it looks like they're going to stay with that solo Vanguard and keep going from here. As XBE, they did use a bit of ultimates, but they didn't use as much as MVNEsport, so that might be XBE keeping that momentum going. But for now, MVNEsport, they are close to getting their ultimates online and going.
Luckily for both sides, they do have defensive ultimates with the Soul Resurgence of Mantis, but now Slux just adding so much damage on the table here with the ult, I have Agamotto able to actually take out Chu Tiger, taking out Fish. Oh my god, a 3-piece
that was crazy
by MVNEsports just from that eye, and now a complete team wipe coming from MVNEsports. With them actually holding on to one of their ultimates. Adeline still waiting for the right opportunity as Cap to kind of, since they were staggered, to try and disrupt the backlines. But right now we're talking about that push, that uphill. Can they reach that point though?
This is crazy. This is a crazy advantage for MVNEsport right now. Look at all their ultimates. They're all online and ready to go. The only impactful ultimate right now on XBE is that Rage of Ultron. So we'll see what the plan here is, as the Omega Hurricane is going to go in, but the Rage of Ultron needs to keep that team alive. Slux is dangerously low, but will get sustained up. Chu Tiger is able to get a trade of ultimates with Kale's Rage of Ultron, and that might be one of the more important ones, as Tien's does have the final judgment. Rethen does have the Eternal Bond, will pop it immediately. Psionic Seduction will try to buy a bit of time, but the last judgment is going to be available. Can he get value? It is great timing coming in, as Demise still holding onto that invisible domain. Doesn't seem to want to use it just yet, but it does seem like that final judgment doesn't quite get any value. Adeline is going to just buy a little bit of time to wait for the rest of the team to pop in. Here's the invisible domain with the freedom charge, so everyone on XBE is alive. And look at the ultimates on MVNEsport. There is nothing. They don't have anything to respond this with, and it looks like XBE will push on forward to this second point, and they will just barely get through that underpass that you were talking about.
And I would say that is actually a big win in the second point, because that is the hardest one to push since it's uphill. The defending side does have the advantage, but we do see some ultimates being pulled out here. Soul Resurgence try to keep everyone alive. Chu Tiger taking out 1, taking out 2, able to take out both the strategists on the side of XBE. So it's not over until MVNE says so, because they were so close to unlocking the second checkpoint. But just like that, they were able to stop them in their tracks. And look at that, 7 seconds left. Can they actually touch point? This is going to be really hard to get back from. And now we have Ultron staggering back in the back lines. We do see the teleport
buying a bit of time. Wait, Slug still has the teleport available, still has the portal. There we go. There's the desperation teleport. But Beans gets exploded immediately. Chu Tiger is able to target them well. I have Agamotto going to provide a lot of value, but is it going to be enough? Beans is on the sidelines for just a few more seconds, as Kale trying to do his best to keep the team alive, but it does seem like it's all for naught. Maybe, just maybe, as Fish, Beans, and Kale able to get the damage, able to get the eliminations down, but they weren't able to get the control. And that means the time expires, the overtime meter expires as well, and now MVNE, they are in a very, very commanding position now.
It's a good spot to be in. That was a little unfortunate. I think Star-Lord stepped out of the point just a little bit. He was getting the elims that they need. The portal was on point. It was right actually on the point, and they were actually rallying back, but unfortunately, the overtime couldn't last that long. Just like that, MVNE in a good position. They still have to push We'll see if they're going to see any adjustments into their heroes pools here, because they were kind of struggling with that dive. I mean, XBE had some really good responses for MVNE, and I hope that we'll be seeing Slux in a bit.
Yeah, we'll see what XBE's position is now. Beans is going for the Iron Fist. I'm gonna be honest, I've yet to see an Iron Fist pop off, but it looks like we won't see that Iron Fist. It will be the Bucky, a better choice overall, especially when you have two flyers on the side of MVNEsport, True Tiger and Liked in particular. And if you are able to land that shockwave ability, you do stop the flyers from actually flying for a few seconds, so that might be very, very important as we do begin the push for MVNEsport. All they need is that first point and then walk across the street. So we'll see if they're going to be able to do that.
Easier said than done, man. That's why MVNE crossed the road to get that second point. So we see XBE still trying to hold that high ground here, and XBE actually controlling the point early on here just to make this team fight a little bit harder. But True Tiger, you got to be very careful in handling this. He has really good pickoffs with the left click. However, when it comes to the Omega Hurricane, XBE seems to be ready when it comes to the response to the Soul Resurgence, as well as the defensive ultimates on any of the strategists. But now Beans trying to hit the back lines here, or trying to add some damage from the front lines as he tries to get a kidnap going. Unfortunately, unable to get that capture. MVNE trying to set up some flanks here.
There was a bit of a nice play coming in from True Tiger, albeit it was a very micro positioning play. True Tiger was just hiding behind the point to get that extra cover down, but it doesn't seem like it's going to be all that important as Beans is able to just pop off. Tien's walks off the map to just prevent the stagger from occurring. So XBE...
We saw this before. Yeah, we saw this before when it comes to the defensive side. You can play it perfectly, but it takes that one moment for the attacking side just to get that one moment. Then you got to respawn all the way across the map. So slowly but surely, MVNE still got to cook, still got to build up those ultimates and win this next team fight. But the question is, how do they choose the approach? It seems like True Tiger is not even setting up on the high ground, just taking the approach on the ground. Kale, though, with the switch up on the Hela, could mean the difference for the team fight here when it comes to pokes, but it seems like we're going to see a two-piece, a three-piece on the side of MVNE, and almost a team wipe. Adeline is the only one that's staggered in.
Yeah, Adeline needs to run for the hills, try to reposition, because already MVNE will secure that first point.
Yeah, that was quick. They still have 4 minutes left to work for them to be able to cross that checkpoint that was built up by XBE. Note that there still is that alleyway that they have to go through, so that could be a tough spot here. No switch-ups yet on the side of XBE. Adeline is the dive tank. Slux still holding on to the Emma Frost, so hopefully this can kind of falter the team's progress here.
Yeah, both teams are starting to get their ultimates online and ready. We will see the domino effect yet again. Kale, great choice on the Hela to get those hit scan characters in. Punisher is also an option, but it does seem like Kale wants to go for the extra firepower, the extra what do I call it?
I would say
stopping power. Yeah, something like that.
While that was happening, it was a good thing everyone took cover and ran for the hills to not get hit by the sciatic deduction. But as I say that hill, clicking heads, they're able to take out Beans from across the map. So now this is the hard part here. He's able to actually climb up the hill. Soul Resurgence as well as Tien's popping the final judgment, forcing the invisible boundary. Eye of Agamotto to get the stun. Can we get a freedom charge to keep everyone alive? But a 3-person elimination though.
There was, I think somehow Skinny, while he was falling after going for that jump, was able to tag 3 members that were of XBE that were on the high ground somehow, some way. The timing was just absolutely perfect as Tien's is trying to clean up, but the Goddess of Death is going to be forced out to keep Kale alive. But we'll see if it'll be enough. We'll find one. Can he find the other on True Tiger? Is able to get that direct hit. We'll top it off with a third as XBE are going to hold for now. But then again, MVNEsport, they have a lot of time to work with.
They do, and they have to maybe choose to portal in, but look at that. Adeline already making sure he's going to be going forward here. Lich going for the Warlock here, so they want to be able to have the respawn timers quicker, especially on Hill's side. So now they're going to go for the portal in. They have the high ground here, but a quick elimination on Beans' side.
Oh my god, that was a crazy pull. Chu Tiger's ultimate, the Omega Hurricane, would have been so perfect. But now it's going to be MVNEsport in the back foot right now. That Omega Hurricane most definitely would have ended the game right there. But XBE with a crazy play from Beans might not be enough, actually, as the Eye of Agamotto is going to be forced out of Slux, but MVNE, despite that huge misplay, a huge mistake, a huge positioning error coming in from Chu Tiger, it's going to be all for naught. We can say that it was never punished. MVNE with a 2-0 victory.
All part of the plan, Dan. If there's always plan B, if Chu Tiger can't get the Omega Hurricane, we got the rest of the alphabets to go with. They got the rest of the teammates. They were able to actually find their way back into the matchup, and Chu Tiger getting the MVP once again. Despite him not being able to hit that Omega Hurricane, they still got his teammates to rely on. And just like that, folks, MVNEsport move on victorious and